It's the Coen brothers, Ethan Coen and Joel Coen. They're lunatics. They're certified. But they make really great films and, do stuff like they did here. What were some of the pivotal role behaviors? And what happens if you don't adopt the pivotal role behavior? They dock you. The end of every sentence, they dock you, including one of the guys who brought some kind of a piece up to throw in the bag. So can you remember any of them at all? And I haven't written them. Okay, oversized, well, no, we haven't gotten to the oversized male yet, but say it again. File a faulty complaint. You can file a complaint, but if it's a faulty complaint, they dock you. No, it's great. It runs about 2.5 minutes, I think. So let's go on a little bit further, because now Norval is at his workstation where he's sorting the mail. He's placing the mail in the mail slots. To his right is a veteran mail clerk whose name is not recorded in anything I have. I'm not even sure it's recorded in the credits. But let's see what happens. I proposed to you that there was an additional role sender in that sequence. Was there? Someone that was telling Norville what is right or wrong. Who was it? Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, it's obvious. The old guy. And what does Norval learn from this gentleman? I didn't hear it. He's doomed. Why? Yeah, but look what you have to look forward to. 48 years of guaranteed employment. Tossing, and then you learn how to do what the older fellow does. And you stand back and you take aim at the slots, and you don't fold it, right? Just throw it away. And right away, Norval rebels. Did he not? What did he do? He wrote a note on the envelopes. Exactly. So you have in there, in that entire sequence, which is around 4.5 minutes by the time we stopped, 5 minutes, you have the role episode model portrayed in certain aspects of socialization. So let's go on and take it to, looking at my notes. I even made notes today. Let's go to the model of organizational socialization, which in part I want to demonstrate with the Google events. And it's that figure mat, obviously. And a little tighter, please. Okay, stages of organizational socialization. There are 3 of them. And this is non-trivial. No, it's as tight as it'll go? Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. It's advanced technology. All right. Thank you, Matt. 3 stages with different results at each stage. And I may not give you all the detail that the chapter gives you, but please take a look at it carefully, because there's definitions, and I'll point out some of the items as we go on. The first stage is called choice, where the individual has chosen a company that he or she wants to work for, or if the person is already an employee of an organization, has chosen another part of the same organization for a new position. In the choice stage, the person experiences what is called anticipatory socialization, which is a deliberate pairing of words to suggest you're looking forward and trying to figure out what is going to come after you or come at you. And it's the process of getting into the organization, trying to understand what the requirements are, On the right it says expectations. So what are the expectations that the organization has for a person who comes in as a new employee? In my example of Open University, I actually told you about the anticipatory stage for me. What did I say, if you can remember? It is 20 minutes ago, so. What did I say? Say it again. I was excited, but it goes beyond that. It's where I have to understand the expectations on the other side. How to dress. That's non-trivial. I mean, I'm really looking for a job with those people after I retire. Doesn't pay big bucks, but they're doing some exciting work, and I'm going to continue. So I want to know if I'm going to have dinner with the dean. And notice I didn't ask the dean. I asked the secretary, because Ali is the one that I'm interacting with, and presumably she will let me know, and I'll have all the clothing with me. Well, if you are successful at getting the job and getting chosen to come into the organization for the first time, then you experience the entry encounter stage. And this is where you are breaking into the system and you experience the reality that's on the other side. Now, in Norval Barnes' case, he really, there isn't much in the film about interviewing for the job that he takes as the mailroom clerk. You just see him, looking at an employment office and trying to figure out what jobs are available. And he's got his Muncie School of Business briefcase with him, so he's upscale. But he arrives for his first day, and the moment those doors open to the mailroom, that's the entry encounter stage for Norval Barnes. And finally, if you are successful in the socialization process, then you experience the change stage where there is a change in one's self-image. And we call it metamorphosis, and the original source calls it metamorphosis deliberately because you know what happens to the caterpillar. It's kind of an ugly, mushy thing, and it becomes a butterfly. And in biology and nature, we have many examples of a metamorphosis, and that's what it means. So if I may, it's rare for me to have people that have gone through Lackland Air Force Base in the room. But I remember the end of our 13 weeks of basic training. And we, of course, remember it nicely because then you're going to go on to do something else. But I looked at those guys, and I can remember the first day, there's 60 men in a flight. And when you march in a flight, there are 4 rows, 4 files. Is that what they're called? Well, we'll call them rows. But you're lined up, next to each other, 4, and typically lined up shortest to highest, so that there's this, nice image. And I was the second shortest person in the flight, so I was in the first row. And that's kind of cool because then you get to see everything. And so the sergeant calls us to attention, and now the challenge starts because out of the 60 people, 58 didn't know what it meant. You follow me? So we had to learn what it meant, attention. And it meant you stand, legs together and hands down by the side, and you're straight and so on. Then he asked us to march. And that was super challenging because some of them had right feet and some of them had left feet. You always start out from your left foot. You should have seen this. It was hysterical. And I didn't have the presence of mind to realize when I was 17 and a half years old that I would someday be a university professor talking about my 17 and a half year old experience. So I didn't videotape, which wouldn't have been possible, but I might have been able to arrange it. The hysterical part was the metamorphosis at the end. Everybody looked good. Our hair had grown back, so our hats fitted properly. Everybody stood straight, and we marched in a beautiful formation. And if you want to see an example of this, watch the film An Officer and a Gentleman. Yeah, there's a scene in there where it actually shows the squadron of officer candidates as, brand new, and it shows another group of officer candidates who are at the end of their training. And they're juxtaposed. And that's what we had, marching, and then we would laugh at the newbies. because they would come in and they're all over the place. They can't salute. They can't put their belts on right. And they look terrified, and they are terrified. Okay. So now let us try. Here's where the challenge comes, Matt. This YouTube contribution. Now, Matt, I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. I don't do anything except start it. So, sorry, this is as big as we're going to be able to get it, and hopefully the speakers will not blast us away.
So are you dreading going to work this morning? Well, there's one place where people are knocking down the doors to get a job. Today, Fortune magazine names the 100 best companies to work for in America. And NBC's John Larson is standing by at the New York office of the company that is at the top of the list. John, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Matt. One of the things that's been so much fun about this particular story is that the reason this company is number one of many reasons, is that people are having so much fun here. This is their game room where they come down and play video games or a little foosball during the course of the day if they want to. Now, if you missed the name of the company when we were teasing it before the break, I'll give you a hint. They've been in the news a lot this year with record profits, huge acquisitions. Many people know their name. In fact, the name of the company has now become its own verb in the dictionary. So while you're thinking about that, I'll...
Working for Google, and what are the features of Google's culture that you capture from this 5-minute moment?
Show you why Fortune magazine thinks that this company is the killer place to work in America. First off, let's talk food.
We have a stir-fry of calamari with Chinese sausage.
Imagine 11 gourmet restaurants in your office.
We serve rack of lamb all the time.
And all the food is free.
Julie, salad?
Now imagine a free fitness center.
Come on, don't give up on me.
A barber shop that comes to you. Car washes while you work. Pool tables in your office. Lap pools for exercise. Volleyball courts, and naturally, company massages. Sound like vacation?
No, it's definitely not a vacation, but it's a pretty great place to work.
Want to buy a hybrid? This company will give you $5,000 to do it. Want to wear your jammies to work? No problem. Do your laundry? Free.
Some nice deep breath in and out.
Got a cold? There are 5 doctors on site, and they are all free.
There's a culture of appreciating your environment, your fellow human being, how it should be in utopia.
Utopia may be a bit strong, but after studying hundreds of American companies, Fortune magazine this morning is announcing that
Google is America's best company to work for.
That's right, Google. All these perks are the product of the search engine giant based in Mountain View, California.
This is the most engaging, insanely great work environment in corporate America. I mean, it blows your mind when you see all the food, the massage stations, the couches, the wacky behavior. You know, people are truly having a great time at work here.
And what does Google get in return? Employees with tremendous job loyalty and productivity.
Everything's sort of geared towards letting you focus on being productive and actually building a great product.
Who work through the night if necessary, and who tell us they have never had more fun. The Vice President of People Operations, Laszlo Bach.
It seems like people here are way too happy. Seriously, it looks like a problem. They're way too happy. I want to see more frowns around here.
Yeah, if that's a problem, I hope we have lots of problems of that nature.
If there's a problem, it's success. Despite all these expensive perks, the company is posting record profits with huge margins.
and growing so fast that keeping this intimate culture will be a challenge.